Shalom, 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 shalom to the house of Israel. Shalom. Yes, come on in the room. Let everybody know we're live. Hallelujah. 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 Zion, Zion, Zion. I'm feeling good like a Hebrew should. Giving our Abaya praise, honor, and glory. Zion, ain't nobody like him. King of kings, master of masters, Yahuwah all by himself. Hallelujah. And we are his people, Zion. The bloodline, blood-bought descendant of the house of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, scattered to the four corners of the earth. But watch this. Waking up by the millions. Boy, you said million. Oh, yes, I did. All over the world. All over the world. Let me get some of this double alkaline well water ready. Zion, let me get it ready. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Hannah Project in the house. Good to see you in the room, guys. Woo, let the other administrators know we in here. Netanyahu, my brother from another mother, is in the room. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Woo, Zion, we got to see something tonight. What's that, Morey? We got to look at this harvest. It's right. For what? World War III. No, you just talking. Okay. We'll see. We're going to stay this thing together. Let me get in this text. Shalom, shalom, shalom. All of you that's in the room. And once again, Todah Rabbah for you. And we thank Abba Yah for the opportunity to be in the room with you once again, studying and meditating upon the word of Yah. I have been once again inspired by our Holy Bible, which has been granted to us, Zion, gifted to us by our King. And I've been saying this for a long time, that the word of Yah, oh my, I just felt something that fast. The word of Yah is not established on earth. I better say that again. Yah's word, this Bible, which is really the scriptures of truth, the set apart scriptures of truth, are not established. You know what the word established means? It's not established here. It was not made here. It was not built here. Maury, you might have to stay here for a moment before we move on. This word didn't start here. What we have, Zion, in our hand something that's, say it. I got to say it. It's something that is otherworldly. It's otherworldly. This book didn't come from here. And because it was not established here, it cannot be destroyed here. And I know some of y'all like, where's he going with this? Do y'all know how many books have been written and destroyed over time that you will never know nothing about? You know how many great works of art and great works of literature have been put out over the thousands and thousands of years that humans have picked up either a chisel on a rock or picked up a stylus on stone or picked up ink and parchment or picked up a feather and some paper? You know how many people have written books? How many millions and billions of books have come and gone and you have no knowledge of them, watch me, at all? But not so with the word of Yah. No book have been hated so much and still here. No book have been trying to be destroyed so much, but still here. No book has been burnt up so many times and is still here. Because it's not established here. More words established. Up there. Above us, higher than us. It's established. And I believe every word in it, and I believe that every word in it shall come to pass. Why? Because, almost everything in it has already come to pass. Sometimes we get so familiar with the word, we forget that we're reading an ancient, over 2,500-year-old book. Why? Because it speaks to us right now as though it was written yesterday. As a matter of fact, it's written as though it was written today. Why? Because Abba Yah can see and can call things in this book that have not yet happened, that's going to happen. So it sets it apart. And because he established his word not on earth but in heaven, that means that no one can stop it. Now, there are people who try to stop the prophecies, but to no avail. They lose. You cannot stop the prophecies that are written in this book, because the men who wrote this book, according to this book, were divinely inspired to do so. It came from above. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning that is because in tonight's lesson, we're going to be talking about some things that seem unbelievable. And I have to establish that what we're going to talk about, or I need to mention what we're going to talk about, for some of us is beyond us. We're not even going to be able to understand this at all. It's going to be like, okay, I hear where he's going, but wow, that's impossible. But it's not impossible. It shall come to pass. And then we can do, as I mentioned before, to stop it. I want to deal with tonight, I want to talk about these world wars and how they are ripe for the valley of decision. They on their way here. Who? The world. When? Soon. And very soon. What's going to happen? They're going to see the king. Who? The whole world. When? Soon. Soon and very soon. What they're going to do? They're going to have to pay for what they've done to us. I have to make this video because I want you all to understand some things before we even get started. I already know that some of the things I'm going to mention is above a lot of our pay grade, but I have to preach it anyway because it's in the Bible. Now, my only difficulty tonight, as far as the teacher, was where to begin. No more. Oh, yes. I had like 4 starting places I could start tonight. I can't start at all 4 places. I'm praying like, Abba, yeah, where do you want me to start this? Because the harvest is right for World War III. Well, since we're in Joel, let's go ahead and start in Joel like we've been doing. And we will move to some other verses. And you administrators, I need y'all to be on it tonight. Joel chapter 2, verse 28 is one of the most memorized scriptures, and it's because of one of the New Testament verses where Kepha quotes Joel. Okay, so I'm just gonna read this one verse in Joel. I'm gonna read this one verse in Joel, which is Joel 2:28, and then we're gonna go into chapter 3. All right, so it says, and it shall come to pass. Oh, by the way, if you can hear me and see me okay, place a 7, please. I'm just talking. Who came in the room? Shalom, shalom. Your honor's in the house. Good to see you. Shalom, shalom. And I see them 7s. Hallelujah. 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 Let's say the word. And it shall come to pass afterward. After what? After we gather into the land, after we're gathered to Abaya, that I will pour out my ruach upon all flesh. This is Israel, obviously, because he's going to say your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams. Your young men shall see visions. And of course, also upon the servants, upon the handmaids in those days, I will pour my spirit. So we see that there is a promise that the Ruach will be poured upon the descendants of the slaves. The Ruach of Yah is the Torah. I mentioned that a million times. The Ruach of Yah, which is the breath of Yah toward us, is his word toward us. It takes his word, his breath. I'm anthropomorphically speaking now. It takes the breath of Yah to produce the word of Yah. There is no difference between Yah's breath, and Yah's word. You understand that? You so-called Trinitarians out there, you going to hell for that too. There is no 3 gods. One Elohim, one Yahuwah, one Ruach, his breath, one word, Torah. which is made flesh in our King, for the record, said that the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. Okay. So we know now that we're dealing with a prophecy that is being fulfilled now. If you know that, actually, I'm gonna take my time a little bit tonight in the intro, because this thought is kind of important. If you can see that we are waking up to our true identity, and as a nation of people turning to Yah and turning to Torah in the last days, would you put a 12 in the chat for the 12 tribes of Israel? If you can see it with your own eyes, that a people that were in captivity, a people that were told, and told out for them 12s, a people that were told, if you learn how to read, we're going to put your eyes out. A people that were in slavery so bad, we didn't know who we were and whose we were. A people that have been fed a European white Caesar Borgia image and had us bowing down to white European God looking like idol gods, which were really demons. And how did we come through all of that, including a fake and false religion, and then wake up to who we are and whose we are, do the research, denounce all of that foolishness, willing to take the ridicule, willing to really lose it all, won't back down on this truth. And then some of us didn't even get good marks in school in English. Got low marks, didn't get high marks. And have nerve to say, I'm studying Hebrew now. Come on now. You doing what? Oh yeah, I'm trying to learn a little Hebrew. Well, let me hear what you got, Aleph, Bet, Kibble, Dalet. You like, you really are trying to learn the language? Why? Because I realize that we're Israel. That is the fulfillment of prophecy. The slavers did everything they could to keep us from that one thing. And isn't it very interesting and true that that one thing that they tried to keep us away from the most, that is the thing we're turning to in the last days. We're turning to our identity. We through being Muslim. Y'all can forget that. We ain't going back to that. We tried the yin and yang with all that Buddha stuff. We said, no, we ain't doing that no more. Our people was everything at one point. We tried it all. We even tried to do hippie psychedelic stuff. We had to get up off all that. We were reaching for some kind of truth. And when we found Torah, we said, that's it. Because his Ruach spoke to our Ruach. His spirit in English, but it's really his breath, agreed, came into us, and our spirit, our breath, and his breath started being like the same breath. We was like, wait a minute, Dada. Dada. Yes, sir. Is that you, Dada? Yes, it's me. We found out we was a true children of the Most High. We was like, that's my dad. Oh, yes, and you're my children. His spirit in communion with our spirit, and What did it do? It made us call him Father. It gave us the Ruach to say Abba, Father, and understand it for the first time. Now, I took my time on that on purpose. Why? Because I need to show you something in Joel. I got to show you something in Joel. But you have to you can't see this until you see it through the eyes of his children. The eyes of the children that were scattered. Us. I didn't say they moved for vacation. I didn't say they just wanted to find a better life and make some better investments. They were moved through captivity. Now go to Joel, which is really Joel, chapter 3, verse 1. We're going to pick out some verses that we saw, and then I'm going to get to the lesson tonight. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. So what is the time he's talking about? It's the time right before or right around the time that he brings those of us who are in captivity home. And the question is, what people group all over the world knows about or was in captivity, scattered all over the world? Us. So we get a time marker. We have a time marker. Okay, we need to start looking at what's happening when? Right when he's getting ready to bring the captives back. He said, that's the time that I will gather all nations and will bring them into the valley, or bring them down, into the valley of Jehoshaphat. And basically he said, I'm going to judge them there. And here's why. I'm going to judge them there for my people. What? For my people. And I'm going to judge them there for what they've done to my people. Okay, let's get a good understanding. Your people went into captivity. So if we were trying to understand and talk to Abaya, we say, so yeah, your people went into captivity. Yes, I sent them because of their disobedience. Your people were scattered to the four corners of the earth. Yes, I allowed the heathen to scatter them. Your people were robbed and spoiled, and everything was taken from them, including their name, their identity, and their language, and it was never given back. Yes, I prophesied that in Isaiah. That was prophesied in Jeremiah. It was prophesied in Ezekiel. And it's so clear that even the pagan commentaries say that Yah is going to gather the house of Israel, which that's us, by the way, out of captivities. You can't deny that. So the gathering of the people, which is happening now, waking up, gathered all nations, will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat in order to do what? Judge them. And I'm judging them for my people, for my heritage, Israel, whom they scattered. Who scattered? When we left the Holy Land, our Holy Land, we ran through Africa. I'm just using the term Africa. All of you technical people in the room, I know that that's not the original name of our land. But for those who are just coming in the room, I just want everybody to understand what I'm saying. We ran across Africa. You got to understand that. And according to Deuteronomy 28, we had nowhere to really put our foot down. There was really no place for our feet. In other words, we found no resting place, no matter where we ran. Everywhere we ran as a people, we were ill-treated. We were persecuted everywhere we went. Now, the question is, where did we go? Through Africa. So who treated us bad? Who sold us? We got two groups, and everybody knows it. The Arabs that are mixed with Hamite. There's Shemite and Hamite. The Arabs first operated a slave trade for among us 1,000 years. Morey, why you keep saying that? I'm going to prove it in a minute. Just hold on, y'all. Then when we ran out of the east and we began to run into Africa, into the middle of Africa, then all the way to the west, and then hopefully to the west coast, every place we went, we were sold to our enemies and mistreated. Every single Hamite African tribe sold us out, either to the Arabs or they sold us out to the European. And we've done the history and we've already proved these things. You go look at the history and see what they did and how they gathered us and put it in the slave trade. It's so well documented. And to prove it, that we two different people, they never sent a ship to come get us, right? Never. They didn't come in to get no strangers. They said in their writings they were selling strangers. So now I need to talk to not only Japhethite. Now I need to talk to Hamite. Yah is now dragging you too. Where, Moray? To the valley of decision. You understand me, you Hamites? You're not off the hook. You sold Yah's people and you know it. You know we got roots to those tribes that you sold into captivity because you've been on internet just like we have. You've been in them libraries doing research just like we have. You done figured out, oh no, we done sold to Israel. Now you're trying to use the Bible. I've been watching you. And I know them leaders, all the leaders in them African countries watching the Moray. Watching me right now. If they're not in the room, sneak listening, they gonna watch the rebroadcast. So let me talk to all of them. Why? Because they can hear me. People might have forgot. You might have forgot. This world might have forgot. But Abba Yah has not forgot one of his children that you mistreated when we were running for our very lives. And we had to run through your countries And it was in the country of the Hamites that we got sold into the worst captivity, which is none other than Jacob's trouble. It was the worst treatment of human beings on earth since the earth began. There's never been anything close to them 400 years of torture and rape and murder and killing and lynching. Never. Documented all over the world. Matter of fact, we as a people, can you imagine this? We as a people have become synonymous with slavery. You know what synonymous means? You're a synonym. It means if you look up slavery, it's going to say black people. It's going to say us. And Jeremiah said, is Judah a homeborn slave? Is he? I don't understand this. Is he? And the answer really is, no, he's not. But why is he in captivity? How come he's known as a slave? When they look at you and they look at me, the first thing that comes to their mind is those are slaves or those are children of slaves. Even though the same European is so quick to say, well, everybody has been enslaved once or twice. Okay, how come when you say slave, you ain't talking about King Chucky? When you say slaves, how come you're not talking about Romans? How come you're not talking about the Italian when you say slaves? You ain't never put up a picture of a Greek. No, every time you say slave, you put our picture up. If y'all in this room with the Moray and agree 100, put a 100 in the chat. I'm not just in here talking. I'm giving y'all what y'all love. And that's showing up the truth. Our captivity was the captivity to end all captivities. And everybody got rich off of us. I have some quotes here that I'm not going to get to tonight because I see my time is almost up. I got some quotes that I'll be bringing out hopefully later on this week from Hamitic African kings, knowing that they sold us into captivity, confessing that trading in humans, us, was more profitable to his nation than any other produce, any other commodity, any other cattle. Anything else. So he ordered his people to focus on selling Israelites. He didn't say the word Israelite, but he meant capturing those strangers and selling them. Why? It was improving his nation's GDP. More ain't just talking. They sold us for nothing. Anyway, let me get back to my text. So somebody scattered us among the nations. And then in verse 2 it says, and also part of the land, they have cast lots for my people. They did what? Yeah. It's like shooting dice. Who gonna get who? Did that happen to us? Of course it did. They have given a boy for a harlot. We talked about this last week. And sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Oh, they put us into slavery so they can get drunk. All right, loaded. Now look what he says. And what have I to do with you? You do me, O Tyre and Zidon and Philistine, will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? I know you ain't gonna try to challenge me. That's what he's saying. Because you have taken my silver. I'll be preaching this every week. You took his silver, that's us, and all of our stuff, my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly, pleasant things. Now watch this. The children of Yehuda also, the children also of Yehuda and the children of Jerusalem have you sold to the Grecians. Who sold us to the white man? You sold to the Grecian. Who sold us to the white man? Who sold us to the European? Who sold us to the Greek? And once we got sold to the European, which is the Greek, that don't represent just people from the little island of Greece. They represent all the white folk that participated in the slave trade, that bought us. We were sold to our enemies. Joel said it. But I'm asking a question. Who sold us? Somebody acted as a middleman. Talk more, Ray. Who was it? Can y'all see this map? I know you're wondering what you're looking at. I'm gonna try to make it plain. I know that the scale is wrong. These European, they lie about everything, including all of our maps. But nevertheless, I want you to look at something. Moy, what am I looking at? I just circled the continent of Africa. You see it? Put it close. Do you see all those colors? You know what it represents? The nations in war. What? They're not telling you. Nobody's talking about this. They're telling you about Israel, because that's still Africa, and the Palestinians, but they're not telling you about this. What is that? What do you mean, Moray? Every one of these places that you see color is in war right now. Preparation for World War III. They're getting drug in it. No. Oh, yeah. If you look at the way it is, it's the exact places we tried to run to. And that's the places that we could find no rest for our feet. What type of wars? Civil war / drug war, civil war / territorial insurgency, drug wars, ethnic violence, terrorist insurgency, terrorist and political unrest. As we speak to this day, those Hamitic people, their nations from the East Africa to West Africa is war torn. And when I say war torn, I mean the numbers of people dying there is so great of numbers that it would dwarf the numbers of people dying in Palestine and in the land of Canaan. These numbers are in the millions. And they don't even know, most of these people don't even know why they're in war at all. They don't even know why they're fighting. What do you think about that? As a matter of fact, I was talking to Javon earlier today. Really, to be honest, nobody knows really why they're fighting. Matter of fact, you don't know. Some of y'all didn't even know they were fighting. You don't know, and I don't know. You know what? Since I'm out here, let me say this. And do you know that most people in this world today don't even know why they're fighting in the Middle East? They don't know why. They think it's about oil. Oil is everywhere. You can't fight about oil is everywhere. Everybody who dig in the ground find oil. Everybody. You go in the desert and dig oil. You go up in Russia and dig oil. You go over into the island, dig oil. You drive to the ocean. No, you get in a boat and you sail into the ocean, dig oil. You come to California. What? Sunny California? Oh, yes. Start digging oil. Go to Alaska, dig oil. Go to Canada, dig oil. It's everywhere. Uriah, you still in the room? Yeah, he's still in the room. Uriah, wasn't you the one that told me that oil is like water and it was like everywhere? I started looking at that thing. I said, so then what we fighting over? What's really going on? Punishment. Yah is setting up the harvest in the valley of decision. Because he ain't forgot nothing. Now, this is for my next little session before I get out of here today. My next little section, I got some, remember this, all this stuff is for educational purposes only. I typed in today's armed conflicts. I went down on this page and they said Middle East and North Africa. More than 45 armed conflicts. Now, we only hear about one, right? You and I have only been hearing about one, well, two maybe. We've been hearing about the Ukraine, Russia, and then we don't hear about nothing else except for Israelis and Gaza. But the report said, no, it's 45 armed conflicts going on right now. 45. Where? In the Middle East and North Africa. Education purposes only. Just to prove to you that the Moor ain't lying. This, in numbers, the most affected region, more than 45 armed conflicts are currently taking place throughout the Middle East and North Africa, the first place we ran. That was our first escape route when we were trying to flee from the persecution. Of course, we ran down through North Africa before we could get down to South Africa and West Africa and into the Middle East. They all sold us. And right now, as I'm preaching tonight, they're in armed conflict. And it's terrible. Cyprus, Egypt, Iraq, Israel, Libya, Morocco, Palestine, Syria, Turkey, and Yemen. All of them participated in our slavery, in our slavery, our capture, and the slave trade. Every one of them. And Western Sahara. The majority, okay, I want to skip down to the next one. Now that's North Africa, right? The next slide says Africa. More than 35 conflicts. So 45 plus 35. I went to a little small school. Ain't that around 90? $80, 90 wars already? Come on now. So it's 80 wars on one continent. Let's read it. Africa comes second. Wait a minute. First of all, you said North Africa. You said Africa comes second. You heathens. I ain't got time to deal with you. I'm just using your material to make a point. That's all. Africa comes in second with the number of armed conflicts per region. 35. 35? Ain't nobody talking about no 35. What 35? With more than 35 non-international conflicts, armed conflicts taking place. Burkina Faso, Cameroon, the Central African Republic, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Ethiopia, Mali, Mozambique, Nigeria, Senegal, Somalia, Sudan, South Sudan, and Sudan. Several armed groups fighting against government forces and against each other are involved in these conflicts. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what else you got to say? Western powers, that's us. Not us, not me. That's them. I'm talking about the beast. And neighboring countries are intervening in the NIACS, is what I just mentioned, that take place in Burkina Faso, Mali, Mozambique, Nigeria, and Somalia. In other words, the beast is involved in some of these wars. Cars on the top of the list with several NIACs involved, multiple armed groups. Come on. Yeah. Right now as we speak. And to this day, don't know what they're fighting for or don't know why they're fighting. It's because it's time. Yeah. Everybody who treated us bad, everybody that sold us, everybody that had a hand in our captivity is being drugged. You comment. You don't know why you're fighting, do you? I'm going to tell you why you're fighting. Fighting and killing one another because of how you treated us. The root cause is us. Unrepentant heathens. Have not to this day apologized for your role. And when I say apologize, I ain't talking about no European Christian church apology. That don't mean nothing. I just want to say to the niggers, we're sorry for what we did. You're always slavery. You can take that apology and do you know what with it. That's not biblical. You can't have shalom without shalom. And that same so-called preacher, they get up there crying in front of y'all. When it comes to reparation, they ain't willing to give you a nickel, dime, or quarter. My parents wasn't, I was never involved in slavery, but you living off the bounty. And you African Hamites, you ain't fooling the Moray. You even got some of us Israelites trying to get to Africa. And I'll be trying to warn them. You moving to the place where they sold you first. They been with the beast. They sold you out for nothing. They put you in chains and holding cells, shoved you on the bottom of them ships. Only reason why they want you to come to their country is because they're struggling. They want your money. They want your skills and your talent. If they were serious about reparation, they would say, everybody want to come back. Everybody get at least 40 to 50 acres on us. Everybody gonna get electricity. And all of you coming out of the Americas, you can come with the ability to protect yourself. Because there's gonna be some wildins out here. And when they see you coming in there with cars and clothes and earrings and watches and carrying on, doing all this and the camera and everything, they're gonna be quick and swift to lift some of that from you. They're gonna lighten your loads now. So you got a right to come here with armed too. And it'll be free land, free houses, free education. Plus, we're going to give you some money every month. But have they done it? Well, let me answer it for you. No. Knowing what they did. So guess what? They coming too. Where they coming, Morehyosh? I told you. They heading here too. Now you see this valley is red. Because the blood. Them Europeans, them Arabs, and them Hamites that treated us bad. Joel said they all coming. Let's go back to the Bible, because I know somebody said, Maury, is that really in the Bible? Yes, it is. The children of Judah also, verse 6, and the children of Jerusalem have you sold to the Grecians. Oh, you guys forgot. You guys think y'all forgot what you did. He ain't forgot nothing. I keep telling y'all that. You forget. Y'all don't forget. And as his child, and as his seer in these last days, one of them, several of us, but I'm one of them. We can't forget either. It's in our DNA. Give me a few more minutes. We're talking about World War III. Watch. Behold, I will raise them out of the place where you sold them. Who's he talking to? That same group. He said, you know you sold them. All of y'all sold my people, and you sold them here. This is the triangle, and you know it. You know that the slave route went like this. It went here, then here, through here, then over here, then here, and then here. You know that. Everybody knows the record. Everybody knows what you did. So because you sold them, and because other folk have sold us too, remember we were the hottest commodity. We are the stocks and the bond. We are the Wall Street. The wall where the slave trade was taking place was called Wall Street. That was where we were being sold. Stocks, those of us who came into stocks. Bomb, those were already bombing. It's all about us. And World War III is about us too. Let me keep going, because if I don't, I won't make it to the end of my message. I'm going to rise them out of the places. You're going to do what? Y'all say I'm coming to get them. And that's the part when I opened the message and I said, this book is otherworldly. Because that's the part that makes it hard for everybody to believe. What's that? Moray? What's hard for everybody to believe? That we're going home. We were scattered. And I know you're saying this. I don't see it, Moray. I can't see it. I know you can't see it. I told you before I started the lesson. For some of y'all, it's over your head. It's okay. But you should believe it. Because he said, I will raise them out of the place you sold them. Which means that we will be in the place that we were sold to when Yah gathers us. Did you hear me? If you heard me, put a 500,000. You know I'm trying to get out of here. This verse is telling us we will be in the place of our captors. We will be in the land of our captivity when Yah brings us out. It won't be our power. It'll be his. It won't be our might. It'll be his. And he says, and I will return recompense upon your head. That means you're going to pay. I've been telling these heathens forever, you're going to pay. I done told these Europeans, you're going to pay. I done told these Europeans that think they're Americans, amour, you're not amour, you are European. This is America. Everywhere you go, you claim not counting it as yours. Australia is black as what y'all call black, what y'all moved to Australia. Now Australians are white. South Africa is all what y'all call black. You moved to South Africa, now you South African. You moved to Egypt, now you You're Egyptian. Then you come to the Americas, now you're American. Why? You are some chameleon shape-shifting somebody, ain't you? You're gonna pay too. But I gotta talk about this because nobody knows why they can't get it together. Do you know one of the things that's happening in Africa right now? I'm talking about all over Africa. You know what they're saying? They don't understand how they can't get together. They're online every day saying things like, we got the most natural resources in the world. We have some of the best coastlines. We got some of the most beautiful mountains. We got some of the most green fields. We've got some of the nicest people. We got this, we got that, we got this, we got that. How come we are on the bottom? We got oil, we got gold, we got silver, we got platinum, we got cobalt, we got titanium. We got the stuff to make cement. We got the stuff to make cell phones. We got the stuff that drive we got the stuff that makes Elon Musty. We got his cars running while we broke. You sold us. You wouldn't let our feet rest. You fought us. You participated in the slave trade of the house of Israel. And some of y'all know it so much because we was taken from the nation called Yehuda. We was taken from Ben Amin. We were taken from lands named after our ancestors. He said, I'm going to turn the recompense upon your head. And what's happening right now? I just read it. 35 countries. More, you ever thought about moving to Africa? No! No. Not when they ain't 35 countries over there fighting where I'm going. No. No. This might sound petty to you, but no. I like pulling my boat to the lake. Yes. I like that. I like hanging out in the backyard, chilling. I like being able to drive where I want to go and just relax. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Y'all can have that. I'm not in no. Well, in fact, you know what? This video is getting long. I gotta get to this. I gotta get to this part, but this video is getting long, so I'm gonna try to cut it off. The places where you all are that you talking about we should come back to, y'all fighting. And they're not reporting it, but millions of people are dying. Millions. Wow. We were sold here. Ain't no wars going on. We were sold here. We were sold here. We were sold here. I think we're in the best place right now. I think we have our own Goshen right now. This is where you want us to go back to. You want us to go back to here and here. The people who treated us bad and sold us. But look what's happening to them. They getting towed up from the floor up every day. Now, I ain't saying this place right here is the best place to be. I'm just trying to say people here, the sons and daughters of slaves, most of them, when we turn on the faucet, hot and cold come out. We get 24-hour intranet. We got nice schools and parks. We have the rule of law. And we've been around this captor so long, we know him. We've been away from you a long time. We don't know what you got in store for us over here. The places that y'all have his children at the end of the captivity, we don't have malaria no more. Mosquitoes ain't killing us here. Unless you live down there, I almost said someone Netanyahu in the room. We don't have to fight a whole lot of wild beasts, except for those of you who stay down next to Netanyahu. Y'all might have to kick some turtles and wrestle some alligators and some of y'all that live over here, yeah, some of y'all got to wrestle some snakes that them heathens done brought over that now longer than your whole driveway. I know, but I'm saying for the most part, y'all has us in a Goshen. Now, you heathen didn't want that to happen. You sold us into captivity. But at the end of our captivity, just like the Egyptian story, it's almost exactly like the Egyptian story. Because he did say, you're going back to Egypt again in ships. At the end of the captivity, we're in Goshen. And just like they thought it would be impossible to get out of Egypt, Some people think it's impossible for us to get out of the lands that we were stolen from. It's not, because Yah's going to do it. Verse 8. Woo-wee, this is in everybody's Bible. If you administrators can be kind and stay in the room just a little longer, I would sure appreciate it. Verse 8 is in everybody's Bible. And I will sell your sons. No. You see it? And your daughters into the hands of Yehuda. No, come on. That can't be in the Bible. Why not? They sold you. So I'm going to sell them. Huh? They going. Where? Same place you went. They sold you into captivity. They going into captivity. I'm going to sell them, their sons and their daughters, into the hands of the children of Judah. And they shall sell them to the Sabaeans. To the who? To the Sabaeans. Wait a minute. Ain't them some of the most treacherous, mean and evil, disciplinarian type of people on the earth? Yeah, they did it to you. They sold you into the hands of people who mistreated you and beat you and punished you. It's called recompense. And I ain't talking about just the Hamite nation. I'm talking about, once again, everybody that participated in the trade of Yah's people as slaves. You come into the valley of decision. You're coming based on, and I can't finish my message tonight. It's World War III. That's what it's about. Because all the nations in Confederation are refusing to confess the truth about us. Even though they all know it now, but they still won't confess it. So we got people fighting over land they don't own. You got people who know that the rightful owners of the land are in the slave trade right now. We're scattered to the four corners of the earth. You know it, but you're still fighting anyway. We got people all over the world fighting to hold secrets. We have other people that are in these captivities and fighting. And I mentioned there's 35 something wars in the South, 45 wars in the North, and don't know why they're fighting. I want you to see what I'm telling you. Why are they fighting? Why don't they just stop? Ain't they all cousins and friends and relatives? What is the bloodshed getting them? Nothing. They don't even know why they're fighting. You fighting because of a secret that don't nobody want to tell. And that secret is who we are and whose we are. Now, as a preacher, prophet, and seer, I have to tell my Hamite brothers, you better come out from among them and be separate, saith Yahuwah, and touch not the evil thing. You better get rid of all them idols and hoodoos and voodoos and all that wickedness that you got caught up in. You better fall down to the feet of our King Yehoshua and plead for your life. You better apologize and do your best to recompense the house of Israel. Your time is ticking. And all you world leaders watching the moon, right, especially you down there in the African continent, I need to tell you something. You feel it in your bones. That's why you keep trying to make all them initiatives. You're trying to make it right. You're trying to make it right. I'm telling you the way to make it right. Tell the secret to the world that you already know. Tell them you sold the house of Israel. I don't know what promise you made in that room, in that back room, you leaders. I don't know what negotiations you made. I don't know what they got on you. But you can't be a world leader without knowing the truth. Tell it. Y'all may have mercy. Because if you don't, and based on prophecy, you won't, you're going to be drugged here. You coming with the heathens. You coming with the beast. When the beast get ready to have all out World War II, they coming to get y'all first. You know that, right? Little Bobby and Missy and Sue ain't gonna be the first ones they put out there in World War II. You will be. You're gonna be the one. You already are being fodder. You already are being, what's the word? Another word for that. You're already being destroyed by the powers that be. You don't even know why you're still fighting. Get out of Babylon. Turn your back on these European white Caesar Borgia images. Bow down to our King. Now let's finish this reading. We'll pick it up here next week. And I will send your sons and daughters to the hands of the children of Yehuda, and they shall sell them to the Sabaeans, a people far off, for Yahuwah has spoken it. Proclaim this among the Gentiles. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to obey the Bible. Put 9 in the chat for verse 9. I'm trying to obey the Bible. Proclaim this to the Gentiles. What am I tell them? Prepare war. Get ready. It's coming. You better wake up your mighty men. Let all the men of war. Come on. Come on. Let them come up. If you ain't got a weapon, beat your plowshare into swords. Come on. Let the weak say, I'm strong. By the way, them so-called Christians, they have no idea what that person is about. Let the weak say, I am strong. That's about the judgment day. That's about the people who got nerve trying to stand before Yahuwah. That's about World War III. You non-Bible reading, so-called, oh, that Christian church. Oh, my goodness. You better let the people talking about, I'm weak, I can't go. You better get strong. Assemble yourself. And come all you heathens. And gather yourselves together round about. Thither, because thy mighty ones come down, O Yahuwah. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there I will sit to judge what? Oh, yeah. All the heathen. Put in the sickle. Put ye in the sickle. For the harvest is ripe. That's where my subject came from tonight. The people fighting is fighting. The Israelites that's supposed to wake up, they're waking up. The heathen that's supposed to be gathering, they heathen. The heathen is heathing. The battleships are moving. The aircraft carriers are carrying the great weapons of war. The submarines are submerged, locked, and loaded. The tanks are full of gas. Where they going, Moray? They're going to the valley. They're going where? Revelation 14. Revelation 14. Revelation 14:14. Watch this. Watch this hookup. Watch it, Zion. Revelation 14:14. In my Bible, they labeled it the time of judgment. Oh, you better know it. The Revelation 14:14 says, and I looked, and behold, a white cloud. And upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man. Oh, yes. Where's my pictures? Woo! Like the Son of Man. Yes! Yes! Not no Cesare Borgia images around it. Yeah! What about him? All right, I'll read. Having on his head a golden crown, and having in his hand a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the temple crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in thy sickle and reap. For the time is come to thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle, and the earth was reaped. And another angel came out of, by the way, that's us going home. Get that straight. And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven. He also having a sharp sickle, two different sickles. But they sharp. Ooh-wee. And another angel came out of the altar, which had the power of a fire, and cried with a loud cry unto him that had the sharp sickle. What did he say? Thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vines of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vines of the earth, and cast it into the great wine press. Of the wrath of Yah. And the wine press was trodden outside the city, and blood came out of the wine press. The blood of the heathens, the blood of the unrepentant, the blood of the slavers, the blood of the ones who sold us into slavery. Watch this. The blood of the murderers and the thieves and the liars. The blood of the nations that are still unrepentant to this day. The blood of everybody talking about don't give them Negroes a nickel, dime, or quarter. They ain't nothing but nigger. That's why it's wars all over the world. That's why the planes are flying. That's why the ships are sailing. That's why the soldiers are training. You have no idea why you're going to fight. Yah's doing it. And blood came out of the wine press. even unto the horse's bridle. What? This the bridle. Our king will be doing the killing. By the space of 1,600 furlongs. That is your World War III. And the harvest is right forward. I don't believe it. That's your problem. I can't see how that's going to happen. I don't care what you can see or what you can't. I just read it. It's going to happen. Our king, our king. Oh, our king, our king. He's coming back to gather his remnant and kill the beast. I gotta go. Put a 1 million if you learned something, if you saw something, if this message helped you, if now you're starting to understand why the whole world is in confusion. I'll tell you why. Yah has them in confusion for one main reason. World War III, when he drags them into the valley of decision. I got so much more to say, but I got to go. One love. Support the work of the art. You already know. Like the videos. Send a donation to the station. You know you have the ability. Help us out. If we're helping you out, we can work together to keep putting forth this type of content and encouraging the house of Israel. Be faithful in these last days. Why? It won't be long. And our king is coming. Then what, Morehyosh? We're going home. Shalom.